Hello freshman parents, this is Laura Keither, counselor at the high school. Welcome to Freshman Parent Night that is virtual pre-recorded this year. We hope to be back together in person in the future, but we are excited that we're still able to push information out to you with this venue. A few things to know about this session. We are going to take the opportunity to touch base with you on things that are specific to your freshmen and some helpful tips, things that we want to make sure you know, and then we thought we'd also take the opportunity just to touch base with you briefly on course registration and how that is going to look this year. If you have not had the opportunity to reach out with us and connect with us here in the counseling office, my name is Laura Keither. I have students' last name A through G and T. Stacy Chevermont has students' last name H through O, and Allie Winch has students' last name P through Z except for T. We also have Jennifer Vadden Aston as our administrative assistant and Julie Patry as our registrar. If you need to connect with us, feel free to give us a call in the counseling office at 779-7934. You can also email us at our first and last name at hasd.org, and your students can get connected with us through sending us a Canvas message or through stopping in the counseling office to make an appointment with us. A selfish plug here for us, something to plan for next year. If you're wondering at what points in the year are we going to be able to get connected formally and do some conferences, we do hold sophomore conferences that's held one-on-one, student, parent, and counselor. We invite you in and have conferences talking about four-year planning. Do your students know what they want to do? And if not, how can we help them prep and get ready to plan for their future? We go over graduation requirements, ACT, opportunities that are available to them to receive college credit both in our building and outside of our building through Start College Now and the Early College Credit Program. We also talk about youth apprenticeships and school to career. So lots of helpful information is held during sophomore conferences. We hold these beginning of their sophomore year, so we'll be sending out information, and you can call us and register for the time that works for you. Otherwise, if we don't hear from you, we will schedule at a time that we can get your student on our calendar. So again, planning for next year in the fall, we will be doing sophomore conferences one-on-one. A friendly reminder that your students are required to complete a minimum of 36 youth service learning hours by April 15th of their senior year. I know that seems so far away, but we do have students who don't get their hours in and then they're scrambling at their senior year deadline to make sure they're getting those 36 hours. So as opportunities are becoming available, please make sure that you're having your student do the minimum of the 36 hours. Those need to be logged on the Transio website. So if you're viewing this through PDF version, you can click on these yellow links. Otherwise, you can also go to the high school website and find gotransio.com and some guidelines around youth service learning hours. We ask that you do not complete the hours with a family member. You should be doing those things with family members just because you love them and they're your family, not doing it to get service learning hours. Those are things that should be community-based, outside of the family, and making sure that you, again, have those logged on gotransio.com. If you have any questions, Katie Proetti, her email is listed here. Katie Proetti is our Youth Service Learning Coordinator. You can email her for questions and information about youth service learning opportunities and the website. Being involved in some sort of club or activity is something that we hope for all of our students to do. Did you know that Hortonville High School has over 50 clubs and activities to get involved in? So if your student has something that they're interested in, check out the link here to see if it is a club or activity that already exists. If not, have them come and talk to us and we can help create that club. It's really important for kids to get involved in clubs or activities because it helps build a resume for them, helps them build time management skills, and ultimately helps them feel connected to their school and to their community. If you're wondering what kind of resources are available here in the building for your student if they need academic support, please know that they do have ELT or extended learning time every day. So it's about a half-hour class period where students are reporting to their home base. But if they are struggling in a class, they can work with their teacher to be requested to that teacher's classroom during that half-hour period and receive some small group or one-on-one support for the class. Please touch base with your student on how they can be using their ELT time more wisely. if they are in their home base, that it's still expected that they are completing homework or reading a book, and a great opportunity for students to connect with their teachers if they need additional support. If you're looking for tutoring, we do have a program through Lawrence University. It's called their VITAL program, and Lawrence University offers tutoring through their K-12 program. You can click on this link, or you can Google Lawrence University VITAL for additional resources on their tutoring program. We know it seems like summer is so far away, and we haven't even gone through winter yet, but something to just kind of put in the back of your mind for next summer is thinking about what are things that your student can do academically to help them continue to progress through graduation. So things that students can do in the summer are they can work on their youth service learning hours. There's lots of opportunities in the summer to complete those. Those will all be listed on Transio, or it just provides students more free time that they're not also coordinating their high school daily schedule with doing some volunteering. But ask your student what they would like to do and make sure that if they haven't gotten it done during the school year, that they are working on that during the summer. If you have a student who's interested in doing summer school, we do offer that through Hortonville High School, and then we also have partnered with Appleton E School, so not East, but Appleton E School. That's part of the consortium within the Fox Valley. They work with us and our students to register for summer school courses, so certainly feel free to Google that and research courses that they might be interested in taking in the summer. And then it's also a great opportunity for students to do job shadows in the summer. So if they can get in with a possible career opportunity for them, certainly meeting with somebody, doing some job shadows and setting that up would be a great time for students to explore more. If you're wondering what kind of testing is your freshman going to be completing this year, your freshman is going to be doing the ACT Aspire. Both freshmen and sophomore will be completing that. They're going to be doing that in April. And then students are also required to complete the civics exam their freshman year. That is required to graduate, and completing and passing that, and that will be given during their civics class. A few notes from our Dean of Students, Mrs. Rankin, in the Student Services office. Thought we would take this time to just touch base with you and make sure that you know the messages that we are sending out to students while they're in our building as well. So first would be, please be in class on time. So students, we're seeing an increase in tardies, and know that if students do have 3 tardies, that will equal 1 lunch detention. So encourage your students to make sure they're using their passing time wisely and to be class on time. Also a dress code reminder, so there are no hats or hoodies that can be worn in classrooms or in the hallways between 8:35 and 3:35. If you'd like some more information on the dress code, it's on page 15 of the student planner. So again, no hats or hoodies in the halls or in classrooms from 8:35 to 3:35. Touching base on personal electronic devices, so cell phones, tablets, anything that would kind of fall within those categories, those should not be used during learning time or lecture time within the classroom. Make sure that your student, if they are using it, they're having a discussion with their teacher and using it for educational purposes. Electronic devices on campus are a privilege and not a right. So we'll have that discussion with your student if they're not following those guidelines. If your student needs to be absent or is out for an appointment or they're sick, please remember to turn in a medical appointment slip to Student Services so that in attendance that is marked out medical and then it doesn't accidentally go in unexcused. If you have a student who is leaving school for an appointment or an excused absence, please remind them to sign out of Student Services so that we are aware that they are out of the building. They just need to go in the Student Services office, and there's a pad of paper on the counter that they would just sign their name and the time that they are leaving. If you have any questions related to school, feel free to stop in Student Services or give Mrs. Rankin a call. We're all available to help and just want to make sure that your students are adjusting to the high school and following the rules that we have set for them clearly. I know it seems early in the school year, but we are going to be looking at course registration here in the next couple weeks. If you haven't already talked to your freshmen about course registration, that's okay. We are going to be pushing information out to you coming up shortly. So the timeline is that the first week of December, we will be having ELT lessons for students that are going to be talking specifically about block scheduling and grade-specific course registration. Mr. Ellenbecker will also be sending information out to parents about what what block scheduling looks like for next year. We won't be touching base on those details in this lesson, but feel free to reach out to Mr. Ellenbecker or one of the other administrators regarding that, or call the counseling office if you have questions. Again, we will make sure that students and parents are educated that first week of December. We will also be giving students registration paperwork, so they'll have a worksheet that they can come home and have a discussion with you about their course registration. Then the second week of December, the week of December 13th, counselors will be going into English classrooms to help students register. And we know that that'll probably take a couple weeks, but we'll be starting that the week of December 13th. So students will get our support in actually registering for their classes. We would like for them to have their worksheet completed and know which classes they would like to be in, so that that time with them is efficient, and really us double checking with them that the classes that they're taking are the right placement and that it aligns with some possible career goals that they might have. Briefly looking at total credits that students will need by the time they graduate, students will need 4 credits of English, 3 credits of math, 3 credits of science, 4 credits of social studies, 1.5 credits of Phy-Ed or 3 Phy-Ed courses over the course of 3 years. They will need health, personal finance, and they should be finishing up their computer proficiency class this year through either computer apps or Office for the 21st Century. At some point during their 4 years here, they need to complete 1 credit of a fine art foreign language. That can be met through band, choir, Spanish, German, or art. And then students will also need 2 occupations credits, and those are, typically just elective credits that come naturally, and then 6 elective credits. Now you'll notice that this 6 elective credits is different from last year. We are increasing our elective credit requirements, which then rolls into our totaled credit counts needed for students. That goes along with block scheduling, and Mr. Ellenbecker again will touch base on that, but we are increasing total electives needed for students. So this year's freshman class will graduate with a total of 26 credits. Some other odds and ends that are graduation requirements for students. As we mentioned, students do need to complete a minimum of 36 youth service learning hours, and they need to pass the civics test. Now that civics test is proctored to them in their Global Studies Civics course. Again, if you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to us. The next couple slides are going to talk specifically about what classes are available for your freshmen to register for next year. Courses within the English department that are available for sophomores to pick from are English 10 and Honors English 10. Please remember that the Honors English 10 does hold Laude points. All sophomores complete a version of World History, so students, when they're registering for classes for next year, can pick regular World History or AP World History. AP World History does hold Laude points.
If you're unsure, or maybe you are a student who already has a career in mind, the science department created this awesome flowchart for you. So they broke it down into 5 pathways, and then they tell you exactly what classes and the opportunities that you have available to you at Hortonville. So please refer back to this flowchart when selecting classes to make sure that you are taking advantage of all the opportunities that we have to offer and making sure that these classes line up with your future career goals.
Your sophomore will also need to register for health and Phy-Ed next year. Now all sophomores take health. That is something that we get done with them as a half-credit course. We do also have health available in the summer if they are interested. Students will also be registering for a Phy-Ed class. Options for sophomores will be PE 2, weight training 2, or athletic performance. This is also available for students to complete in the summer if they would like. Registration for summer coursework becomes available in May.
A credit of a fine arts and/or world language is required for graduation. A student can complete this in one area or through a combination of art, band, choir, or taking a foreign language class. 2 credits of occupations are required from the following areas: art, business, computers and marketing, family consumer science, manufacturing and engineering technology, and/or going above and beyond in math or science.
After students request classes that are required for them to take within their math and English, science, social studies departments, then they get to pick electives. And these are classes that we like for students to pick on their own that either help them explore possible career options or enrich their day in ways that they don't get elsewhere with other subjects. So we would encourage you and your student to look at the course offering guide that is listed on the high school website underneath academics and counseling, but a whole listing of classes that are available for them. Please make sure that they check out prerequisites and if there are any class fees within those departments. But a lot of really wonderful classes that are available for students to take, and making sure that those either help them explore possible career options or continue to enrich and instill exploring careers that might be a good fit for them. If you have any questions about these, feel free to have your students either reach out to current teachers about pathways within departments. So if they have found a class within a specific department that they really like this year, they can talk to their teacher about what is the pathway or what additional classes follow after that. Lastly, on registration, students do need to request 8 credits worth of courses for next year. In addition to that, we ask that they put alternates in, and we will help make sure that they put their alternates in the right place in Skyward, but theoretically think of alternates as plan B or a backup plan. So if their original 8 credits don't work for whatever reason within the master schedule and their schedule, what would be classes that they would be okay with taking? So in your conversations, please talk to students about what are their 8 credits worth of classes that they would like to take as their first choice, and what would they then be okay taking as a backup. Some classes do require that students complete an application or have a signature from their teacher. If that is required, that will be indicated in the course offering guide, and students can pick those up either with the teacher or in the counseling office. If you have additional questions after this presentation, feel free to reach out to the counseling office. We're always available and would love to help support you and your student. The counseling office phone number is 920-779-7934. You can also have your student reach out to us via Canvas or stop in to make an appointment. And if you'd like to reach out to us via email, our email addresses are listed here. Again, we'd love to help support you and your student, and if you have any questions that we can help with, please feel free to reach out.